Yes, so good evening, my people. I welcome you to another special edition of the Jagbanjatis show. Thank you for connecting tonight, wherever you're watching or listening to me from. Mo kí yín ẹ káalẹ́ o, ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ kú ìrọ̀lẹ́, ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ta, gbogbo ibi tí ẹ ti ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ àti máa gbọ́ mi. I'm so happy to see my lovely people all turning up and eager to listen to tonight's show. Thank you all for turning up on time. Jesus baby, I see your hand. Thank you for alerting people that it's time for Yeti's Kitchen. Thank you very much for that. The rest of you can also do that. You can share this show on your platform. You can spread the word. Ẹ ṣe ń wọlé ẹ máa show me love o. Ẹ máa da love bolẹ̀ fún mi kò easy. Ọkùnrin tó ń sun rárá fọkùnrin ẹgbẹ́ akọ́ṣẹ́ ló ń ṣe. Ẹ fìfẹ́ hàn sí mi. Ẹ jẹ́ kó rí èmi náà máa wú yáyáyáyáyáyá. Ó máa lẹ́tìkẹ́ lálẹ́. We're here to smash another tricky topic. We're here to discuss, something very touchy again, like we always do. And tonight I have a lovely story to share with you guys, So, ẹ lọ fi chicken sínú oven o. Ẹ lọ máa yan àwọn popcorn yẹn sìn o. Go and get your drink, get it chilled. Because I have a story to share with you tonight. And while you're listening to the story, ẹ máa máa bú nǹkan mu, ẹ máa máa gé nǹkan jẹ, ẹ máa máa fi ọwọ́ pa àwọn nǹkan kan, ẹ máa máa wà happy. It's Friday night. Máa kó àwọn àsun jáde. Let's be suyaing, pepper souping and big stouting as we enjoy tonight's show. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe mi, mo júbà ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà tẹ́ wà níkàlẹ̀, mo júbà ọmọdé o. Mo júbà ọkùnrin, mo júbà obìnrin o. Mo júbà ọmọdé, mo júbà àgbà, mo júbà ládéládé, mo júbà ẹ̀yin ìjòyè. Ẹ jẹ́ kó yẹ mí kalẹ̀ o. Pàápàá jùlọ mo júbà Èdùmàrè, ọba mi tó ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ ọjọ́ lọ́wọ́. Òjí kùtùkùtù faṣọ lábora ọba mi jìnwìnjìnwìn ìlẹ̀kẹ̀. Agbọ́n rí kọjá ọgbọ́n. Ìbà ẹni náà tí kì í bẹ́nikẹ́ni ṣàpapín ògo Ọ̀ọ̀ni àgbà tó ní gbogbo lẹ̀kílẹ̀. Ọba tó ń ṣètò, ọba tó mètò, alágbára tó ń gbogbo ń bẹ ní ìkáwọ́ ẹ̀. Ojúbà lálẹ́ yìí ọba tó lóhùn tó ní kí n máa wí. Ojúbà orí mi o, orí owó, orí ọlá, orí oyè, orí ògo, orí òkìkí, orí tí ò gbàbọ̀dé, orí tí ń jà fún mi nígbà gbogbo. Ojúbà o. Ẹ jẹ́ ó yẹ mí kalẹ̀ lálẹ́ yìí. This show is brought to you live by Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in the whole of UK. They're situated in Manchester, but carry UK. On your ọjà they supply around the UK. They deliver all UK wide. You order and then you get your delivery right there at your doorstep. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé yẹn, ẹ máa wádìí yín fi nǹkan lé àbí kẹ́ máa fìdílé nǹkan. This is Jagbanjatis, where we talk nonsense. Yeah, I see you, my brother, Festus. Festus, the great Festus. How are you doing? Thank you for connecting tonight. I know you always like the show when I post the topic, but then, or when I post the advert, but I think this is the first time you'll be joining the show live. It's good to have you, and I'm sure you will gain one or two things from tonight's discussion. Right, let's get to the commercial room like we always do, and shout out Yeti's Kitchen. And when we return, we will get straight into the show. Ẹ pèrò sọ́kọ̀ o, mò ń padà bọ̀. Engineer, bá ń dá nǹkan bò.
Yeti's Kitchen, ilé oúnjẹ àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Manchester. Chilled out Afro and English fusion bar with great food, music, and movies. Kò sí oúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ tẹ́ ò bá lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Serving the best fusion of African and English delicacies bíi jollof rice, ẹ̀wà àgànyìn, ẹ̀fọ́ rírò, jerk chicken, suya, ayamashi, goat pepper soup, bọ́gà lóríṣiríṣi àti àwọn ọtí ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ sí ni, eating, takeaway or delivery gbogbo ẹ̀ ló bá wọn lára mu. Oríṣiríṣi ètò ìgbádùn ni wọ́n sì ń ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wọn bíi movie night, live jazz music, game night àti Lego play area for children to relax while you eat. Their opening times are Monday to Sunday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Address wọn ni 299 Liverpool Road, Eccles, Manchester, M300QN. Telephone 0161 706 0062 tàbí 074 603 53448. Ẹ tún lè kàn sí wọn lórí email wọn ní food@yetiskitchen.com. For more information, visit their website www.yetiskitchen.com. Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in Manchester.
Yes, so thank you for staying with me. That was Yeti's Kitchen, our sponsor for this program. So, like I always share with you guys, Yeti's Kitchen is located in Manchester, but you can make your order wherever you are in UK, and you will have it delivered to your doorstep. So contact Yeti's Kitchen for any of your food supplies. For those of you who have hectic programs and you don't have times to cook, you can order for bulk food that you can put in your freezer and warm at your own convenience. Also, if you have occasions that you need catering for, garden party, small chops for your garden party and birthdays, or you have big events, contact Yeti's Kitchen. They will sort out your needs. Also, the book put together by Chef Yeti, African Vegan, is still very much on sale. It contains recipes, healthy recipes from all over the world, especially Africa. Step-by-step guide that you can follow and cook on your own. It will help improve your diet. And I always give a big kudo to Yeti's Kitchen. Bọ́n ṣe ń bọ́ wa ní tara, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló ń bọ́ wa ní tẹ̀mí. We need to be fit physically and mentally, and that is the only time we can function as a perfect human being. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló ń rìn kiri, wọn ò wá okay, wọn jẹun gidi, orí wọn ò dẹ̀ tún pé, wọn gbọ́rọ̀ gidi, so wọ́n kàn ṣòṣì kiri ayé ni. But when you're on a platform like this, where we share the truth, and I think it will be of benefit for us. The intention of this show is just for us to, become better people. I believe if people know better, they will do better. So, few of the things I share on this program as well are things that I've also struggled with, and before I bring them here, I have to come to terms with it. and sometimes I leave the show also having to go back and make amendment myself. So I'm not here to um, sound like Mr. Know or Mr. Right or whatever thing like that. I'm just here um, to talk nonsense, like I always say. That is to bring sense into what we consider norm, because Oshini, most of the things that she, and that's why many of us are having issues. Right. So tonight's topic is what I titled um, "Age and Income Gap in Relationship." Right. This is another touchy topic, and I want you to be very patient with me as I build up my thoughts on this issue. And I will be sharing with you a true life story relating to this discussion. And but in that story, the names of the characters involved have been changed, and also I'll be withholding some information regarding, maybe the places of work and where they studied, so that we can give them some sort of anonymity. So, but what is important is the story and what you can take away from it. Right. So I start age and income gap in relationship. So what I really mean by this is a situation where you have income disparity between couples and also age differences. There is what we refer to as normal, because we live in a patriarchy society. We live in a society where men are expected to dominate. So when the husband or the man in the home is earning more than the woman, the society consider that as normal. So, kò sí issue nínú yẹn. And likewise, the society expects in a relationship that the man will be the older person, because the man is expected to lead, to be in charge, to be in control, So that is also considered as normal. Right. But when it is the other way around, then we have issues. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still issues in what we consider as normal. There are still issues. Couples still struggle when one is earning than the other, even when the man is earning than the woman. Some couples live in the home like they're in competition, which is very unhealthy. But the focus tonight will be what is considered not normal, and that is when the female in the relationship is older than the male. So when the wife is older than the husband, and also when the wife earns considerably more than the man or than the husband, then issue are according to the society. Ordinarily, this shouldn't be an issue, but it is an issue. And sometimes don't want to admit, and they just act as if everything will be fine and stuff like that. No, these are things we shouldn't sweep under the carpet. These are issues that we should discuss. These are things we must get right. Like I always say, the way we behave, the way we live our lives, majority of us, is according to the way we have been conditioned, the way the society has shaped us from when we were young. And that is how we're living. Only few have gotten to a point where they're able to shake off this old knowledge and shape their life according to who they are and how they want to live. But many just go with the flow and just accept standard. Bó ṣe wà láyé àtijọ́ ni ẹ̀bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe nìyẹn, bọ́n ṣe kọ́ wa nìyẹn, bí mo ṣe rí nínú family, mo ṣe bá òbí mi ṣe gbé nìyẹn, and they just follow that. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mo rí yín o, ẹ kálẹ́ o. Thanks for finding time to connect. Also, mo rí my lovely sister Adenike Jordan. Thanks for connecting as well. So as I was saying, so we're in a situation where we're dealing with what the society considers as abnormal. The wife is older than the husband, and the wife earns more than the husband. In homes where this exists, there are always tensions. There are frictions, and there are issues which oftentimes should have been discussed and totally ironed out before the relationship even starts. We have so many men that would deliberately frustrate the effort of their wives in pursuit of better platform for themselves. We have men that will truncate the effort of their wives when they seek to better themselves in their careers, just because tó bá ti lọ di general manager bẹ́ẹ̀ báyìí ìgbéraga máa wọ̀ ọ́ ni o, kò tiẹ̀ ní gbọ́ràn sí mi lẹ́nu mọ́. Many men preempt the behavior of their wives when they become more successful, and this is absolutely wrong. You don't assume the way people will behave for them, because you are not them. What you need to do is to allow people show themselves, and then how to handle such situation. So you don't, because tẹ́ni bá ti lọ gbowó ju ẹ lọ báyìí kò ní gbọ́ràn mọ́, and then frustrate effort of that person and keep that person below you. Is nothing but wickedness. And ẹni tó ní òun ò fẹ́ kọ́rẹ́ òun jọba, irú ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ kò fẹ́ ní ọba lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ nìyẹn. And that's just the simplest interpretation I can give it. Ṣìkàṣìkà dẹ̀rẹ́ á fi díẹ̀ náà ṣera ẹ̀. If you have the understanding that couples are in a relationship to work together, to join forces together, and build quickly and achieve what would have been difficult for a person to achieve, then you will know that you will support each other in your endeavors. But when you live in the home like you're in competition with each other, then you won't go anywhere. You won't achieve much success in whatever you do. So we also have in situations where the wife is older, and then every little thing the man play that card and say no, those things shouldn't come into every argument. Age is just a number. Many women have lost good men in their lives just for the single fact that mi ò lè fẹ́ ẹni tí mo jù lọ o. I'm older than him and I don't think I will it's ideal, and so wọ́n fi ẹni yẹn lẹ̀. You think age has something to do with maturity, forgetting that foolish people too grow old. So if somebody is foolish at 21 and that person refuses to shake off that foolishness to day 60, then he will be foolish at 60. He will be a foolish old man. So thinking if you go with an older person, you're marrying someone that is matured and stuff. Àwọn àgbàlagbà tó jẹ́ baby wà, baby in mind, baby in everything. They're not matured regardless of their age. And then you will see some young men who are, very capable. They know what it involves to be responsible. Tó bá ní kéèyàn responsible tó bá léèyàn responsible kì í ṣe pé bá torí ó ń dress ó ń talking àbí ó ń de tie àbí ó ń de button shirt ẹ̀ ní ó ṣòro pé èèyàn responsible àbí ó ń get low cut. No, ìyẹn kọ́ ni wọ́n mean pé èèyàn responsible, because we make that mistake especially in ibi tá a ti wá máa gbọ́ very responsible young man bó ṣe rí ó dress ó neat. Ìyẹn kọ́ ni responsibility o. àìmọye àwọn èèyàn tó ti fi dressing báyé wọn jẹ́. Ẹni tó bá rú èmi báyìí with dreadlocks, piercings, tattoo and things like that, obviously they'll condemn me straight away from sight, at sight, which they do all the time anyway, and it took me a bit of time to be able to understand that, but ẹ wá àwọn tó ń rèpù àwọn ọmọ yín, ẹ wá àwọn tó lù ní jìbìtì dì and all those things, ẹ wá àwọn tó gbá yín. There are people in suits. There are people with low cut. There are people don't they tie. They are Bible carrying people because they appear to you in a way or in a manner that you would easily open up to them. But when you see, probably an individual like myself, you just say, eléyìí ò responsible. Eléyìí ó dàbí àwọn tó ń tagbó, and you just condemn me outrightly and you don't even give me a chance. This is a mistake many of us make. So essentially, when you're going into a relationship, what is important is what you need to make that relationship work. And it doesn't matter the age of the person who has it. If they have it, they have it. If they don't have it, they don't have it. Marrying an older person doesn't mean your relationship will work, because you can't give what you don't have. But the people who build the society, like I said earlier, they are patriarchs. They are people who believe in male domination. They are people who believe in men being in charge. And since the Industrial Revolution, men were pushed out of the home, because men don't produce milk. So they should go out into the field and go and work. They should be the one to earn for the family and look after the family. And any man who could not do this, who could not provide for the family, is considered not to be a real man. So this is how the society was formed. But as you will agree with me, the society we live in today, that is not applicable anymore, because one person's income is not enough to run the family. So you need both hands on deck. And when you have this understanding, you don't think of who earns more or who earns less. What you want is the home to be well catered for. You want to be able to afford the good things of life, and you want your home to run properly. That's all. So it doesn't matter who earns what, as long as you guys are okay in the home. This is the understanding we should have, rather than entering into the relationship as if we're in competition. I've had I've seen situations where newly married couples, before they got married, the man was living in Ibadan, working in Ibadan, just getting by, just one kind of work like that. And then the lady was in Lagos working with a bank, and she was progressing very well in her career. After the wedding, the man wants to show, what the society dictates, like obìnrin ló ń kó wá sílé ọkùnrin o, and ọkùnrin ló lórí aya, and things like that. And the man insisted that the wife must move to where he is in Ibadan. Àìsí làákàyè ni, because tí làákàyè bá wà ni, you will have the understanding that, look, you're starting your home and money is important. You can't underestimate the place of money in running your home. In fact, 80% of marriage breakdown is caused by money issues. So forget whatever they've taught you in counseling, marriage counseling, and all these things. You have to work out your own way. You have to use sense in making decisions. So this lady earns more, and you should know that it's sensible, if you are starting out, for you to depend on our earning. Our earning will be enough to cover your home while you work your way into getting yourself together and getting a job. But you force the lady to leave a well-paid job, move to Ibadan, because you are the husband. Obìnrin ló dẹ̀ máa ń kó wá sílé ọkùnrin. He took her down to Ibadan. Problem ti wà, because number one, the salary you're earning is not enough to run the home. Two, she's coming from Lagos at almost top level of her career. There won't be, vacancies of such for her to key herself into in Ibadan. And even if she finds one, they might not be paying the way they pay in Lagos. So ultimately, you are making the lady to drop down and start from the bottom again. Whether you like it or not, ó ti dá ọgbẹ́ ọkàn sínú obìnrin yẹn. Tí ò bá sọ, tó ṣe ń ṣe àwọn submissive woman, tó ṣe ń dákẹ́ pé a gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjà nínú family, she's not seeing that. Ọjọ́ tí simple thing bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí, tó bá máa blow, wàá máa wá yẹn pé kí ni nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀? Yes, because ó ti bottle up issue kan láti ilẹ̀. You've killed her from the start. So tí làákàyè bá wà ní, wàá mọ̀ pé gbogbo she's earning more than me yìí, and stuff like that, kò ní gbọ́ràn sí mi and everything, it doesn't really work. Jẹ́ kó dìgbà yẹn ná. And like I like to balance my argument. I don't blame men who think or behave like this, because we've had situations of women misbehaving, especially if they are richer than the husband, or if they are well placed in the society. So obviously, men are a bit edgy when it comes to issues like this. But like I always say, jẹ́ kó dìgbà yẹn ná. You don't preempt situation, because you might be judging things wrongly. Kò tí ì ṣẹlẹ̀, o ti ń act, o ti ń behave lórí nǹkan tí ò tí ì ṣẹlẹ̀. That is totally wrong. So it's partly ego, It's partly what would people say, people ìyàwó ẹ̀ ló ń bọ̀, and society also has a blame in it, because before you know it wàá máa gbọ́ kínní ni, gold digger ni, ìyàwó ẹ̀ ló ń bọ̀, ìyàwó ẹ̀ ló ní mọ́tò yẹn, òun ò ní nǹkan kan, kò mú nǹkan kan wá, òun ló kó wálé ìyàwó yẹn, and they ridicule men like that. You must get to a point where you rise beyond what people say. What is important is you are happy where you are. What is important is your home is running. What is important is both of you understand each other. So the key here is all about understanding. You must have this discussion. Women also must do things in the home such that they don't deflate the ego of the man or make the man feel less of a man. O mọ̀ pé nǹkan ò lọ dáadáa fún màá yẹn, so wàá fi ń ṣèwàwù àbí kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ nǹkan kó you know that there are ways you act such that the man won't even feel less of himself. These are things we need to learn. These are things we need to balance up. And these are the real issues we must discuss in our relationship. I have a story to share tonight. It's a bit long, but I'll run through the story. What I want you to do is just relax, hear this story, and you reach your own conclusions. There are lessons to be learned from every step of the story, from beginning to the end. There are lessons to be learned. At the end of the story, we can all discuss, what we have learned from the story together. Let me get to Yeti's kitchen. When I return, I'll go straight into the story. Get your bottle of wine. Ó yẹ kó ti chill báyìí, ẹ gbé jáde nínú fridge. Chicken yẹn yẹ kó ti brown báyìí, ẹ lọ gbé jáde nínú oven. Wá pé gúgúrú náà lẹ fẹ́ yàn, you have time now to quickly pop it into the microwave. Get yourself ready and relax for the story. Mo ń padà wá. Engineer bá ń gbé sókè.
Yeti's Kitchen, ilé oúnjẹ àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Manchester. Chilled out Afro and English fusion bar with great food, music and movies. Kò sí oúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ tẹ́ ò bá lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Serving the best fusion of African and English delicacies bíi jollof rice, ẹ̀wà àgànyìn, ẹ̀fọ́ rírò, jerk chicken, suya, ayamashi, goat pepper soup, bọ́gà lóríṣiríṣi àti àwọn ọtí ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ sí ni, eating, takeaway or delivery gbogbo ẹ̀ ló bá wọn lára mu. Oríṣiríṣi ètò ìgbádùn ni wọ́n sì ń ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wọn bíi movie night, live jazz music, game night àti Lego play area for children to relax while you eat. Their opening times are Monday to Sunday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Address one, 299 Liverpool Road, Eccles, Manchester, M300QN. Telephone 0161 706 0062 tàbí 074 603 53448. Ẹ tún lè kàn sí wọn lórí email wọn ní food@yetiskitchen.com. For more information, visit their website www.yetiskitchen.com. Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in Manchester.
Right. Thank you for staying with me. So, I'll go straight into the story now. If you're enjoying me so far, please show me love. I love bully. Smash love button. Right. So this story is about a couple I call Toye, Toye and Gloria. So Toye and Gloria were university sweethearts who both graduated from the same, popular university in the southern part of Nigeria. They graduated like 10 and 9 years ago, just a year apart. After graduation and youth service, um, Toye was unable to get a good job despite his very good grades in engineering degree for years. Gloria, on the other hand, was lucky to serve in a good oil servicing firm. They retained her, offered her an excellent job package, and she was doing well. Toye, on the other hand, but the frustration for he started a small recharge card and GSM business. But she on phone call on the side, just to get by while job hunting for a professional job. Um, After a while, because Gloria was doing well in her place of work, um, she was sponsored abroad to, for a master's degree. And all this while, they were still in love. They stayed together, hoping that things, will get better. So after Gloria returned, she's been working for like 4 or 5 years now. She's come back now with an MSc degree from a UK university. So obviously, she was promoted. So where Tumposi, she was earning, a mouth-watering six-figure monthly salary. She has a very tasteful apartment in an exclusive area of Lagos. She has a brand new car. Meanwhile, Toye, on the other hand, was still struggling. He was still going about on Okada, and with his recharge card and phone call business, he was barely making 20,000 to 30,000 naira a month, and he was sharing an apartment with like um, three other guys in the mainland. So despite all this, and after much cajoling, due to Gloria's anxiety of possibly um, delaying Tonye, getting by, he somehow convinced Tonye that they should get married. After all, she's doing well and things like that. So Tonye decided to get married to Gloria and then move into our house. Right. Wọ́n ló padà pẹ̀lú accent guarantee nìyẹn. kó máa ẹ tó sìn ọ lọ sí airport gan tó padà ó mú accent wá pé ó kàn penny kàn travel ó kàn sìn wọ́n lọ airport ló dé o ó padà pẹ̀lú accent ni. Anyway, so Tony decided to get married to Gloria and then moved into his house. While he was still looking for ways to start a more lucrative and befitting business. 1.5 years later, Gloria had become, a senior engineer. She got a new role as a senior engineer in another oil company, and due to her connection, she was able to secure a job for Toye in the same company. And because of Toye's lack of experience and just little qualification to need, he had to start from the bottom in that field. And despite his age and everything like that, he just had to start from the bottom. But guy was just over the moon that at least he's off the street and he can start earning by himself. Don't forget, it's the same company. So Gloria was one of his bosses at work, because Gloria was in a senior role. So Toye had other bosses who were reporting to Gloria, his wife, you know. So she would have meetings with the junior engineers, who are Toye's direct bosses, and she would give them instructions, which they would transfer to the to Toye and several other ones who were in that cadre, and make sure that they were carried out. And then in the home, when they get home, they behave as husband and wife. They share the house chores, and until they decide to hire helps. So they have house help, they have driver, they have gate man, and things like that. Gloria is a kind of lady that has very, very high taste. I say very, very high taste, because she doesn't settle for less. So all her equipment, electronics, interior decoration, furnishings, everything, were done to the highest taste that you can imagine before they got married. So, àpò lásán ni Tóyè gbé wa, ó kàn gbé travelling bag ẹ̀ wá ni ló kó wọlé, So then one day there was a little argument between Toye and Gloria. So Toye wanted to watch Premiership football, and Gloria didn't want to. So she made a comment about him having to buy another TV for himself if he wanted to watch the match. And slowly that grew into an argument, and Toye in anger, threw the remote at the TV, and it cracked the TV. Gloria was so angry, and she went all out, reminding him of how she used her hard-earned money to buy that TV that he just cracked. So they had this fierce argument and rows that lasted, for a few days, and as normal couples, they made up again. So months after that incident, another incident happened. This time around, it was unintentional. Toye broke one of the expensive sculpture decoration in the house, which caused another argument, that resulted in Gloria referring to the previous incident, and she went further by, even mentioning how ungrateful Toye was, how she brought him out of poverty, fed, clothed him, housed him, and now he's just breaking things in the house. Ṣápà ló fẹ́ yà ni, ṣárùngún ni ẹ̀ ni. She gave him a piece of her mind, and as you would expect, Toye's ego was completely deflated. As a man, he felt really, really useless. So ṣe rí àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ń bí, wọ́n ní why tó yàpá, why is it destructive? Tóyè kí ló dé? So okay, ẹ má ti jẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ sí, ẹ jẹ́ máa bá lọ, ẹ jẹ́ máa bá lọ, because ẹ ti fẹ́ tọ́ bọ̀ mí lẹ́nu, but let me continue. Mo sọ de gan-an. So yes, so he was really, really deflated. He was like a man. He felt completely useless. So since then he became extremely careful of the wife's property, and ó kàn ra ń yọ lọ ni, tó bá ń rìn inú ilé gan, ó máa kọ́wọ́ sínú àpò ni. Ó máa kọ́wọ́ bàpò ni pé àbàìmọ̀ tó ń bá ń ṣánpá kiri, kápá má tún lọ gbá nǹkan kan, kó má tún lọ fọ́. So ó ń tọ́ bàpò kiri inú ilé ni. So somehow Gloria noticed the effect of that argument, and she felt, yes, she has been able to tame him somehow. So she started using this regularly to her own advantage. You know, whenever she wants him to do anything, she will go into this kind of rant again. Whenever the little misunderstanding, she will go into this rant again. And everything like that. So whenever she wants to have her way, she would use the same method. So it got to a point Toye was like completely fed up. It's hard enough. So by now, Toye was earning, a fair amount, but not she is not earning as much as the wife, but just a decent amount. In actual fact, Gloria was earning 4 times or 5 times more than Toye. So that's the gap between their income. And so it now got to a point that Toye or Gloria said, you know what? When we want to buy things in the house now, I won't be the one doing it. You are the man. So you make these purchases. Are you getting it now? She's earning 5 times than the husband. But now she's changed arrangement to even say he should be the one buying things in the house. Now, that is not an issue. The issue is due to Gloria's high taste, impeccable taste in stuff. Gloria would not just accept any kind of things he buys. Gloria would not accept him shopping in any kind of place. He must shop in, the top end stores. He must buy top end stuff, despite not earning as much as Gloria. This is how Gloria has been anyway, This was how she was raised, So being the man, Toye tried to maintain this position, even though it wasn't convenient for him. He started providing and paying for day-to-day needs in the house, food, even the crazy rent they were paying in the house because they were living in, a highbrow area of the city, and they were living in like a three bedroom maisonette. So it's quite it comes with a high rent. So with various service charges, repairs, maintenance, and everything like that, as well as catering for his wife's high taste. But what if help me? So but he kept doing it, and secretly he started borrowing because what he was earning monthly was not enough to cover these expenses. So he started getting drained from month to month, no savings because the income wasn't even enough. He spent sparingly on himself, and when he has to, he buys cheap for himself, but he has to save the rest of his money to be able to afford Gloria's taste and maintain the home. Now, Gloria had a Range Rover, beautiful car, top model. And at work, she was also given another official car, right? So Toye didn't have any car. So Gloria said to Toye that they don't need to buy another car that they have two already. And they decided that it was the smartest thing to do was to give the Range Rover to Toye, which he can drive to work. Remember, they work in the same place, but due to the level of, their, how do I put it now? Their position at work, they don't park in the same place, and they don't access the company through the same way. So ibi táwọn ọ̀gá máa ń gbà wọlé tó máa ń pààkì sí ó yàtọ̀. Ibi tí àwọn lower staff tó máa ń wà ó yàtọ̀. So she gave the Range Rover to Toye, and the official driver will always come to pick Gloria in the morning to go to work. So Toye, because he's a junior staff, he has to resume earlier than normal. Ogani Gloria, so she leaves home later than than Toye would. So very early, Toye àti dìde àti wá nǹkan jẹ, báyà jẹ bread ni, bóyá máa jẹ ẹyin sísè ni, àṣà ti rọra kúrò nílé. And while he's doing all this, the wife is still sleeping, and he must not wake her up and stuff. So ó máa kàn máa ṣe gbogbo á máa tiptoe kiri ilé tá fi sort her out, tá fi bó ṣe conflict lórí mu, bó ṣe anything. Àṣà lọ síbi iṣẹ́. And Gloria, they will come and pick her to work and stuff like that. So is having to leave early and return late. No time for Gloria really, because junior staff lòun àti jí kúrò nílé kó lè beat traffic. A tún pẹ́ padà wọlé lálẹ́ because of the amount of work he has to do. So at some point, started feeling guilty that he hasn't been spending enough time with his wife. And so he had a deal with his boss at work that, look, can you allow me to be taking home some of my work so that I can be closing early? The most important thing is I do the work you want me to do. And somehow the boss agreed. So he was able to be closing earlier, and he will come home with his work. So this gave him opportunity to spend time with Gloria. So that he daily don't ṣe lọ́kọláya tán and everything like that. He would go into the study, and go and do his work and everything like that. So anytime he's doing his work, Gloria would peep in, see him, check his work or something like that, and just have a chat and go. So that was a day he was working on one of the projects that he brought home. And when he left the study to use the toilet, Gloria checked in as usual and saw the work, and then checked everything he has done. And then she used a red pen to write so many comments on what this guy has done. So when this guy came back and saw it, he was like, ewo gbogbo eléyìí pé kí ló dé tó kọ gbogbo nǹkan kan báyìí. And Gloria said, yeah, those things are wrong. And I said, no, they're not wrong. This is what they gave me to do, and I'm sure my calculations and everything are right. And Gloria now made a statement and said, okay, we would see who has the final say. So they left it like that and let it go. Now, later that evening, Gloria had been invited to, an executive, or let's say senior role, how do I call it now? Evening dinner, where top bosses, are attending. And, like they'll ask them to come with their partners. So Gloria asked Toye to come along, even though that dinner is only for the top execs. So they don't expect to see a junior um, personnel there. But Toye had to go with Gloria because òun lọkọ. So they got there, gbogbo àwọn who and who ló wà ń bẹ́ẹ̀, they were mingling and everything. He felt left out because tó bá ti ń sọ àwọn top discussion yẹn, he can't contribute because they're not talking on his level. So half of the time, ṣe ló ń dúró kiri bí adìyẹ tó jò pa, not having, much contribution to make and everything like that. And the way people look at him like, oh, what was he doing here and stuff like that, he felt less and less and less and less of a human being. Then it got to a point that when they were even having they were exchanging numbers and cards and things like that. He didn't have nothing to exchange because in that organization, junior staff don't have cards, so he had nothing to show. So he was just there feeling really, really like he was dying inside, but at the end of the day, what could he do? There was nothing. So anyway, when they finished and they were about going home, he went to get the car, and as he was coming out to pick the wife, another person tapped the wife and said they want to have a quick discussion. So he went to, turn around and stuff like that. And as he was doing that, Gloria spotted a dent on the bumper of the Range Rover. And her mood changed. Like, what's all this? But Toye noticed that, she was feeling moody and things like that, but it decided not to ask, like, okay, Jadele, my sonly and stuff like that. And the wife as well, at some point when they got home, her mood changed again and decided not to, say anything about what she saw anyway. What happened was Toye had, a minor accident with the car, and someone brushed him and left that dent on the rear side of the car. It was a bad dent that everyone would notice, but of course he didn't have enough time to fix it. So he thought he would sort it out. He will sort it out later, But they had a dinner to go and everything like that. So obviously, that's how Gloria got to see it. Anyway, the following week came. Toye got a mechanic to ó kàn gbé lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn tó máa ń fi pọtí àwọn panel wá bá mi yẹ kíní wò. Ó lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn panel kàn ṣàpọtí mọ́ ti ẹ̀ ni ó dẹ̀ spray ẹ̀. It wasn't looking really tidy and somehow, but anyway, he thought he has fixed it. And then that week he submitted the work he brought home to his boss, and the boss was like, oh yeah, this is okay and everything like that. But few days after, the boss called him and gave him the whole project back with red notes on them and asked him to go and check the calculations again. He was like, but you've already said this thing, you are okay, and I checked everything, it was fine. So when he checked the paper they gave back to him and everything, he was surprised to see that all the writings and everything were his wife's writing. They were Gloria's writing. So now he remembered when the wife said, you will see who has the last say. So so he got home that day he was really angry, and he was like, ó máa lọ kó fún pé kí ló fẹ́ fa gbogbo kinní and stuff like that. So by the time he got home and got into the room, before he could speak, Gloria just went, "What happened to the car? And why didn't you tell me?" Man kàn freeze ni, ọpọlọ ẹ̀ kàn freeze ni. Ṣé kó parọ́ ni? Ṣé kó sọ tòótọ́ ni? Kò tiẹ̀ mọ nǹkan tó máa ṣe mọ́. He just stood there looking like a dummy. So Gloria noticed this, and then he just smiled and said, "You know what? Next time you should have told me. You know how much I cherish that car, and now you've ruined it. So anyway, let's go and get this sorted and do it the right way." But Toye was like, when Gloria said do it the right way, kì í ṣerú oní pọtí tóun ṣe yìí ni Gloria mean. What Gloria mean is you take it to Range Rover, and anything you take to Range Rover don't do potty or fixing whatever. They will remove the whole part. Tó bá jẹ́ lẹ̀kùn lẹ́gbá, Range Rover máa order new lẹ̀kùn ni. Tó bá jẹ́ bumper ni, Range Rover á yọ gbogbo bumper yẹn kúrò, wọ́n máa order new bumper ni. So at the end of the day, that was what Gloria said Toye should do. Toye won't pay salary. I don't go kakini now. I remember when I was working in a property company. This is a digression, and one of my tenant, then person I rented an apartment for, was the Prince of Omar. So he always chat with me, talk to me and things like that. We're very, very, he was in uni then. So one day he came to me and said, "You know what? I think people are just around me just because of who I am and what they can get from me." He said, "I just want to live like a normal human being." So he threw the key of his Bentley. He threw it at me. He said, "Bah." He said, "Take and drive it. I just want to get by on my own and stuff like that." I took the key. I was looking. This guy took me to the car park and asked me to get into the car. I got into the car. I sat in the car. Like magic, car seat adjusted itself to my height and sitting position to the steering. I started the car. I couldn't move it because mo ń wá handbrake káàkiri. He stood there looking at me. After a while, he laughed. Then he pointed to me where the handbrake is. Anyway, I just drove the car around the area and came back and gave the key back to him. And I said to him, "This is too much for me. Because if anything happens to this car, my 1 year salary can't even fix it. So, oore kọ́ ló ṣe fún mi, wàhálà ló dá sí mi lọ́rùn." So maybe this is why I see hope to get a Bentley. That's just a digression. Just for you to understand that there are levels to this thing. There are some cars you will damage. To fix a part of that car, the cost will buy a brand new car of another brand. To do a servicing of a Bentley, ẹmọ ìtàn ta plug, ẹmọ ìtàn change the plug ẹyọkan, like £700, one plug. That's a cost. Half of that cost of one plug or nothing service in motor me. Because you want to do a car service now like 300 or 350. But you're buying one plug of Bentley for £700. What them I change by be 14 plug, I be 8. I can't remember, 8 plug or something like that. That's just for plug. So what that be Bugatti? Bugatti has 2 radiators. One radiator is like 900,000. And when you fire a Bugatti and one radiator is leaking, when they want to change it, they change both. They don't change one radiator and leave the other. So there are levels to this thing. So now Gloria has asked Toye to go and get the car fixed, but he doesn't have the money. So he borrowed, I think it was going to cost like 70 grand to 100,000 to fix that bumper. So Toye eventually had to swallow his pride and asked Gloria to loan him the money. So Gloria smiled and loaned Toye the money to fix the car. So they took it to Range Rover. Range Rover had to order the part, and then Toye made a note that he was going to pay back Gloria as soon as he has the money. So one day, Toye was driving back from work, and then in traffic, he noticed a familiar face. He was in traffic and noticed a familiar face coming out of a car parked in front of a shop, a row of shops. And he was a short guy, clean shaven head, and lóru lẹ́ni ẹ̀ gan ní ọwọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ni ẹ̀ tó wọ sunglasses, and so this guy was like, ojú ìjọ mo ti rí fèsì rí, mo rí fèsì rí, and then remembered, oh, that is one of his classmates when they were in school, and the guy was a crazy one and stuff like that. So he parked his car and shout out to him, and they had the chat and everything. As they were doing that, a woman was coming with pregnant, bringing some load, and the guy had to go and help her to get it, and then introduced the lady to Toye that, oh, that is my wife and everything like that. So Toye saw this guy's level that, they're not well to do. The guy is working in a printing company. The wife has a shop there. They are driving a Tokumbo car and everything like that, and they're living on mainland. But despite their low level to him, he saw that they were happy. So it was like, he desired such happiness. He was living on the island, driving a latest Range Rover, living in a big apartment, but unhappy. And this is somebody on the other side of the spectrum, quite happy in their poverty, So he craved for that. But what can he do? So they greeted themselves, had a chat, and then he went home. The weekend passed, days passed, there was no argument, everything was going on, apart from the fact that now he has to watch his premiership on his own laptop, because the wife my jókòó ti television, so kò sí nǹkan kan tí ó lè ṣe mọ́, ó máa jókòó ti TV ni. Now, something now happened on Monday. They were supposed to go to work. It started raining heavily, and bí island ṣe máa rin tójò bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí, kéno ni wọ́n máa fi rìn kiri, gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀ máa mú omi yóò ni. So the Gloria driver called her to say, you know what, madam, if I say I should come and carry you, odò tí omi ti ń gbé àwọn ọkọ̀ lọ o, mọ́tò omi will carry this motor go, I don't think I can come o. So what should I do? So Gloria told the driver not to worry, that they will use the Range Rover. It's a bigger car, and that one can go through the water, So so decide to leave the house same day. Together. After all, they're going the same place anyway. The traffic was so slow, everything was just dragging because of the rain. So he had to take another route, so that it was a much longer route, but less traffic, and they can get to work on time. So as they were going, they now went past one of their previous neighbor. They call her Mama Nurse. In the rain, she had her nurse uniform. She was going to work, and with her 3 children, Ojo ń pa wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ and everything. Àwọn yẹn náà ń lọ school. So Gloria was on the phone chatting and everything like that. And when Toye saw this, he felt pity for them and thought, but they found people in lift you and everything like that. So he had to take permission from the wife and ask the wife, please, can we help these people? And the wife just waved her hand like, like whatever, duh, And so this guy just reversed to go and pick these people. And Gloria's face changed to that of disgust. Like, what the hell? What are you doing? But Toye was happy. Got there, asked the Mama Nurse to come in with her children. Àwọn yẹn kó aṣọ tó tutù everything. Wọ́n kó pẹ̀lú ara àdọ̀tí everything. Wọ́n kó wọnú Range Rover Gloria. Gloria was pissed off. Like, what are you doing? Her face has changed. Mama Nurse kí gan imú ló kàn fi down low and everything like that. Anyway, Toye didn't care. He was happy that, at least I was able to help somebody and everything. So it dropped them off. They were really happy and everything. And Toye was, satisfied with himself that he's been able to, do something. The back seat was muddy and everything like that. But he didn't care. He would clean it up and everything like that. Anyway, he rushed to drop off the wife and had to rush down to his own part to park the car and then run off to work. My people, I don't know how this time is flying. No. Should I stop the story or finish it? We have 15 minutes left on the show. But what should I do? Make I end them? Make I end the story? Or make I continue? I'm waiting for your response. Okay, Motiri, finish it. Stop, Ke. Finish it, please. Okay, I'll continue if you don't mind. Anyway. Okay, we are here for 9BG. Okay, I'll continue. So, Toye got too late. Toye got late to work and expected, drop the wife and quickly rushed off. But my Gloria was angry, like, what nonsense did this guy do and everything. But Toye was happy. He felt like a man, that he was able to take a decision, was able to help somebody and everything like that. He was okay. Anyway, that went. Gloria got home. And as they got home, they started the issue. Because what Gloria was thinking was, when he said, can we help these people? And she waved her hand. What she had in mind was, yes, let's just give them money so they can take a taxi. Not bring their soggy selves into my Porsche car. A car that I spent, so much to get. If you say you want to help them, give them money. Let them get a taxi and find their way. This is a luxury car that, only classy people should get into, not some raz, idiot. And this was how Gloria was brought up, because his mom was a top military personnel before she got kicked out of the military, and then she was a contractor. So she was brought up in affluence. She was brought up from a rich home, and she's been trained not to settle for less. She must go for the top she must aim for the top in everything she wants. And she was also, taught that she should not allow a man to dominate her, and that is evident in even in how she's high-handed in her place of work. She works in a male-dominated industry, and she's so high-handed. This is all part um, to our upbringing, that she's meant to be in charge, to be in control, not to allow, um, any man to dominate her, or to run her over and everything like that. So she's always been like that, working top end and everything like that. Now, I've seen so many people ask, do they even have sex? Gloria not going to get pregnant and everything like that. Now, Gloria herself made decision not to get pregnant because she's working on a project that needs her involvement, and she knows that if she's able to complete that project, that will even shoot her up further. So she doesn't want any pregnancy to derail her or anything like that. But she didn't mention this to Toye. So she kept using pills, which she kept away from Toye. So Toye kàn yín àgbàdo sẹ́yìn igbá ni. Ajáde àpẹẹrẹ ni Toye ń pọnmi sí. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń rọdà sí, Madam Jomu ni, because she has her own plant, So that was why I saw those comments, and I said to mention it. So she was taking pills so that she won't get pregnant. So after thinking about everything that happened in the morning, she said she knows what she was going to do. So on getting home from work, she confronted Toye because she left work before him. Ojo ti dá and everything like that. So the driver was able to bring her back home. So she was waiting for Toye to return. When Toye got back from work and entered the house like this, ẹnu ọ̀nà ló ti bá Gloria. And Gloria just stretched forth her hand and said, "Can I have my car keys, please?" She stressed my MY. She stressed my, "Can I have my car keys, please?" And Toye was like, "Oh, Benny, kilo ń ṣẹlẹ̀?" And Gloria went on her usual rant. "You don't know how I take care of my things. You don't know how expensive my valuables are. Da. I want you to get it washed and well maintained, blah, 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 blah," and everything like that. So, out of anger, Toye just dipped his hands in his pocket, brought out the car key, and, dropped it on the table and walked upstairs. That was not what Gloria was expecting. As usual, she was expecting Toye to, start begging, because this is what happens all the time. But this time around, this guy didn't beg. He just went upstairs and blah, blah, blah. And she followed him upstairs and was still shouting abuses and saying a lot of things and everything like that. And Toye went and slammed the door, so that he would stop hearing her. And then she went again, "Apa, you want to destroy the door, blah, blah, blah. You know how much this is maintenance cost, blah." He started saying explicit to him, just to get a reaction from him. Toye was angry as hell, And when Toye eventually spoke, when he gathered himself to speak, because he was livid. But when he gathered himself to speak, he just said in a very low and calm tone, maybe I should just leave this your expensive house for you. And then this infuriated Gloria again and started talking about how he's been an ingrate, how she picked him up from poverty, and mentioned all these things again. So he was like, "Oh, Benny, if I should handle this lady tonight, Oma pani, you know." But he's been trained that real men don't beat their wives. It's better to just walk away. In anger, just walk away, you know. So he remembered this advice, and he thought, you know what, maybe I shouldn't just stay in this environment because something else would happen. And Gloria, seeing that this guy wasn't reacting in the way she was expecting, grabbed Toye's collar. Ó lock ẹ̀ ní wọ́n máa sọ pé ó lock èèyàn láṣọ. Ó lock ẹ̀ láṣọ, and all Toye did was to free her hands from his shirt. He picked his wallet and mobile phone and walked out of the house into the night. He didn't even know where he was going. And Gloria was still shouting, "Where the hell do you think you are going? Come back here, useless man." Da, 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 da. But he didn't just look back. He just kept walking. He didn't know where he was going. So he walked for a very long time, dead in the night, before he now thought of what he was going to do. So he remembered one of his friends, TJ. TJ, na bad man. Onishi not to the core. He was his former flatmate. Badass. Ìyẹn ò marry kò ṣe kankan. Ìyẹn kàn bẹ́ wọ́n lẹ́dà lọ ní nígboro. That was the life he was living. So he knew that Toye was staying alone, and that okay, he could bunk there for a while. So he called TJ. Toye knew TJ was living alone and stuff. So he called TJ and described what he was going through to him and everything like that. And he told TJ where it was, and TJ drove down to pick him. Of course, TJ never to be caught on fresh. Ó dé gan ọmọ gan tó wà ní mọ́tò. TJ ó dó pàràrà, ó lè dóbọn. So TJ came, asked the girl in the car to jump to the back, and then put his friend in front, and they drove off. So Gloria was still expecting that this guy will come back and everything, but he didn't come back. So he was in TJ's place. He sent a text to Gloria that he was coming to pick some of his things and everything like that, but Gloria didn't even bother to respond, and he didn't he didn't expect that she would respond anyway, because he knows that she's full of herself. Now, prior to this, Toye had already applied. When the frustration at work was getting too much, he had already applied to another company to work, and they offered him a position, but he didn't take it. He didn't get back to them. He hasn't communicated back his decision to them, because the pay was even less than what he was earning in his current place. So he was thinking, no. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo ìnáwó tí mò ń ṣe nulẹ̀ and everything, nah, I can't. It won't work. I won't be able to cope. So he didn't take that job then, or he was still contemplating, So, but with everything that is happening now, he thought, you know what, I'll just have to consider this job and just take it and start from the start again. Meanwhile, Gloria has been plotting how to make the workplace hell for him. She's the boss of the boss, so she's going to like really frustrate him and everything like that. So um Toye was going from that place to work and then return to TJ's place. That is how he's been living. So, but he made a decision that he was going to take the job, and he resigned at work. That was a big bombshell for Gloria. It was a huge shock. So he resigned from work and then took that new job. Within few months, he could gather money to rent his own place, and then he was able to furnish it, to his own standard, to what he could afford. He got that his friend Collins that he met earlier to help him get a Tokumbo car. So they got one for him, and then it was in that his small house, starting a new job, and he was happy. His real peace returned back to him. He felt good again. He was free again. He could invite his friend to come and watch football with him. He could go out. He could socialize. Everything was okay for him, and he felt like a man again. The man inside him that died has resurrected. So all this while, Gloria heard rumors about the new job he got, and that the fact that they were paying him less, and but he didn't know where he was living or his living situation and everything. And she was wondering how this guy was coping, and days went by, months went by. She started missing him, because alone that's Onisi. All these things that this guy was doing before, she has to be doing them. The responsibility were getting too much on her. The helps in the house were stealing from her. Everything like that, maintenance, all these things. So things were, the weight was, getting too much for her, and maybe 4 or 5 months now, she was getting stressed and everything like that, But Toye was doing fine, So one day, Toye went to TJ's place to use the gym. When he finished, he got into the shower, had a shower, and while he was cleaning himself up, TJ told him that he need to go somewhere quickly, maybe get fuel or something for the generator and stuff like that. So he was left with Toye in the house. And as Toye was cleaning himself in the room, he was stark naked. He looked through the mirror and saw a figure behind him, a woman. I was like, what are you doing here? How did you get here? How the hell did you get here? What are you doing here? He couldn't believe himself. So he quickly took the towel that he dropped and wrapped himself. That small towel, Kara gone and everything, but he just had to cover his nakedness and stuff. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. It is not Gloria that came. It's another random girl. One of TJ's, girls that has been, eyeing Toye since she saw him on Lojawole. And all she did was just to drop what she was wearing, her gown, and she was standing naked in front of TJ. In front of Toye. Toye wò pé kiri. Kí leléyìí. Ẹ tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ó ti pẹ́ gan-an tó ti da lẹ́dà bulẹ̀. Oh, báyìí pé no. No, I can't do this. I can't do this. No, I can't do this. He's a principled man. He doesn't mess about. After all, he hasn't even divorced from Gloria. He's just living separate. No, he can't do this and stuff like that. So anyway, he screamed at the lady, blah blah, get out, blah blah blah, and then he ran into another room and shut the door. And while he was there, this girl was saying all kind of things. So you are not a man. You can't handle a woman. You can't do this. You can't do that. Ó ṣà ń sọ gbogbo nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Tó Yorùbá yẹn pé èmi lọ́mọ kan ń ṣẹnu yánkanyànkan sí báyìí. Bá bá fúru ẹni, you know, and stuff like that. Ó kàn fìbínú jáde ni. Tó jáde báyìí, ó kàn kí ọmọ yẹn, ó pin ẹ̀ mọ́ ògiri báyìí ni tó yọ fúru ẹ̀ síta báyìí, ìdọ́gì ló fún. Gbá, ó dáàbò gidi. For like 15 minutes. Ó lọ bó gidi gan. Tó balẹ̀ jẹ́ fún gidi gan. Jẹ́ pé wà tó máa ṣe tán gan, ọmọ yẹn ń gbọ̀n lẹ́lẹ̀ báyìí ni. Tó ń gbọ̀n bí ẹni tó ní wárápá lẹ́lẹ̀ báyìí ni. Pé ó dáná bólẹ̀ gidi, ó dá lẹ́dà gidi bólẹ̀ fún gan tó jẹ́ pé báyẹ̀ jẹ́ gan. And when he finished, he showered and left the girl and went out. To his surprise, by the time he got into the living room, he met TJ there, Omo Bruku, and TJ was clapping. TJ was in the situation just clapping. Àṣírí pàdé mi. Gbayo. Àṣírí pàdé mi. So, eventually it was TJ that set him up. You know, TJ didn't actually go anywhere. He just set him up. So anyway, he just left the house and, you know, and he went. Now, Gloria was struggling, really, really struggling. And it had started to affect her at work. Even two of her subordinates that were Tonye's bosses then resigned. That they said they can't work with her anymore. You know, she started, you know, getting things wrong at work, such that she nearly even caused the company losses, huge losses. They nearly lost the contract. So what they did was to force her on the compulsory leave. You know, they asked her to go and clear her head and then return when she's okay. So when Gloria was going home, she had an accident herself. You know, because all this while tó ti ń wa mọ́tò fúnra ẹ̀, gbogbo ọkọ̀ gan ti ní oríṣiríṣi scratches and dents and everything. Làwọn gan ti rí pé kò easy because driver gan ti lọ. Driver had left. Driver says, you know, she's always bashing men, always talking down him, blah blah blah, and things like that. And you know, so driver left. So she's been driving herself. Gbogbo ọkọ̀ gan ti ní dent, ó ti ní everything. So she couldn't cope anymore. So on this particular day, she was coming back home. She had another accident. Somebody, you know, ran into her, and she had enough. She was just there, held on to the strand, and was crying. Somehow, Tonye was passing that route and saw there was a lot of traffic and everything like that. And when he drove close, he saw the car. Car any and stuff like that. So he parked and was passing cars to go around and everything like that. And then went to her. And when she saw her, she just broke down. Started crying and everything like that and was begging him to come back and all these things like that. Anyway, Toye drove behind her and said she should go home. She said she wasn't going home unless Toye would come with her. Anyway, Toye said, okay, drive home, I'll follow you. And Toye drove behind her, went to the house. And then she drove into the compound and, you know, and he was trying to, you know, cajole him to move back in and everything like that. But at the end of the day, Toye didn't fall for it. He felt, no, I can't come back into that situation and everything like that. And, you know, now he can't lose the peace that he has anymore. So he told Gloria, if anything will work, you have to move to where I am. You have to come and move and live with me, you know, so that I'm not moving into this place with you again, because it's just a matter of time before you go back to your old ways and start, mistreating me again. So somehow Gloria decided to visit him where he lives. It's a small apartment. And when Gloria visited, it's not a kind of place that she would love to live, but but Toya was happy to show off his little place. She took her around the house and everything, and the choice was for Gloria to make whether you want to move to this place or not. So at the end of the day, Gloria agreed to move back with Toye, and she didn't return to that job anymore. She got another job where she was still earning more than Toye, but she has learned that her happiness lies in submitting to him, not trying to outshine or manipulate him in any way. Especially that she has realized that this guy was trying. He's trying his best, you know. So she had to move in, and they sold the Range Rover and bought a smaller car that is cheaper to maintain. And they started investing their money wisely now, so that they can build their own house together. And they started putting money together in profitable ventures, as investment and everything like that. She took pregnant, and they were expecting their own baby. Now, problem came up. The lady that Toye had sex with in TJ's place now turned up that she's also pregnant. And she claims that the pregnancy is for Toye. And that although she's not bent on, becoming the second wife or whatever, or breaking their relationship or anything like that, but she's going to keep the baby. So Gloria has no choice. That, well, I caused this. I pushed him out. So if this is the only but that would come into our relationship, well, we have to bear this. So the lady too, she's keeping the pregnancy. Gloria too is pregnant, and she has learned her lesson. That is the end of the story. You can see from the start how the whole thing went all through to the end. Many will blame Toye. Yes, he deserves some blame, because from the start he misstepped. He misstepped by getting into marriage when he wasn't prepared. He didn't have a job. And many people make this mistake. I know people who will take loan to finance their wedding, and then they are starting their marriage on the platform of debt. So this was the first thing he did. He dropped the ball there. He allowed Gloria to convince him to get married without a job. So Gloria too has her own shortcomings in terms of not knowing how to handle her success. It doesn't really matter whether you are more successful than the husband or not. You must understand that you guys are a team. You shouldn't be thinking my money is my money and then his money is our money. You shouldn't think that way. You shouldn't lay claims to things in the house and say my TV, my car, my this, my that. It should be something that you guys share, and it shouldn't have a label. Kọkùnrin rejò, kóbìnrin rejò, kọkùnrin pejò, kóbìnrin pejò, kéjò ṣáà má ti lọ. It doesn't really matter who got what. The most important thing is you guys have an understanding that you want the home to run. And you should not let ego override your thinking. These are discussions that must be had. You don't assume. Ask the other person. I work in this company. This is what I earn. This is what you earn. How do you feel about this? You don't shy away from discussions like this. It will boomerang. You don't suppress discussions like this and think, yeah, we'll work it out. No, you won't work it out. Have that discussion. Express yourself. Know yourself as a man. If you can't handle this, don't go into a relationship like that. And as a matter of fact, there is nothing in it that is a big deal. My wife is more qualified than I am. She has a master's degree in one of the most prestigious universities in this country. I only have a degree. And that doesn't make me less of a man. I don't feel threatened. When we're making decisions on how to balance the home, I know she's a career-driven individual. So I never let the decision that we would make affect our path, our career. I want her to get to the top that she can. I'm ready to give her whatever support she needs to get to the peak of her career. It doesn't diminish me. It doesn't make me less of who I am. I don't feel threatened. I'll be proud if she sits at the top or as the head of a board of something or whatever thing like that. It doesn't reduce me in any form or shape. And for those who will preempt what the woman would do by saying that when she gets to that position, she'll start acting strange and everything like that. There's something I called allowance for fuck up. I always give everybody, because we are all humans. I give everybody that allowance. Once I have relationship with you, once I'm moving with you, my friend or what, I leave that allowance for fuck up. That's how I call it. So I wait until then. Let her get there and show me her color. Then I know how to behave. I know how to react. I know how to deal with the situation. But for me to be thinking ahead of her getting there and doing everything possible to pull her down or frustrate her effort, it's nothing but stupidity. Our success is my success. My success is our success. The most important thing is we want to be okay. Me too, I like to be taken care of. I like to be taken to the car showroom and kọ́ni kí n nawọ́ sọ́kọ̀ tí n bá kí n nawọ́ sí mọ́tò bí ìgbà tí mò ń nawọ́ sí catfish. Bí mò ń nawọ́ sẹ́ja àrọ̀ tán fẹ́ pa. And get and pick color and pick, fittings and everything like that. I like to be taken care of. So I don't see an issue. And that's what I want us to take away from here tonight. If you're in a relationship with anyone, see it as a team, not a competition. It doesn't matter who earns what. The most important thing is you want the home to run. If you are not happy with anything, have a discussion. Don't make your partner feel less of who they are. Don't make your partner be walking on eggshell around you. Maybe because they are not contributing enough or they're not bringing enough into the home. No, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. It's a team. Like I said from the start, the social construct designed by people who are patriarchy in mindset brought us to this level. That male domination mentality. This is what we're demystifying tonight. This is what we're shattering tonight. This is the narrative we're changing tonight. This is what we're saying tonight, that it doesn't matter. We're all the same. And the goal is that we are all happy in the home. So it doesn't matter who brings what. What is important is we're able to live and function, and we're able to cover and afford our needs. And like I said in the start, what is abnormal is the woman being the higher earner than the man. Society makes it normal that it's the man that should earn more than the woman, and it's the man that should be older than the woman. But in a situation where it is the wife that is older or the wife that is earning more than the man, the woman should know how to handle this. And the man also should fix themselves in the head and not feel less of who they are. It does not diminish you in any way. If you are younger than your wife, but you are matured, it doesn't matter. Nobody will see it. It's your maturity that people will see. There's so many men who are older than their wife, but níta àwọn èèyàn ṣì máa ń sọ pé àbí àbárìndè lọkùnrin yìí ni. And he's the older person. Wọ́n ṣì ń bí ẹbí àrìndè. But if you are younger but behave more maturely, nobody would know. I know of couples that don't even celebrate their birthday in terms of mentioning their numbers when they do, because they don't want it to be known to the public that the wife is older than the husband. And nobody knows. Nobody knows. So wọ́n á kàn lọ ṣe birthday ní àmọ́ nǹkan tí wọ́n pé. That is the agreement. That is the arrangement. And to people in the public, they think the man is older because of the way he carries himself, the way he's in charge of things and everything like that. So they just assume that's a normal thing. So it's your maturity, is your responsibility that counts, not the age. You can well marry a woman younger than you are, and you are always busy dealing with mundane stuff because baby ni orí ẹ̀ kú. Orí ẹ̀ kú, kò mọ̀ ju èékánná irun máa jẹnu pọ̀ṣọ̀pọ̀ṣọ̀, máa wọ àwọn all this, and stuff like that. You will have issues as well. So what is important is not age, but maturity. And for women who are more successful, who are better qualified than their husband, you should know how to manage yourself. You should know how to carry yourself. You should know how to um, talk to your man so that it doesn't feel threatened. It doesn't feel like you're undermining um, his place or authority or position, whatever society has accorded them. So this is my submission tonight on this discussion: age and income gap in relationship. I hope you've been able to pick one or two things from the discussion tonight. For those who are dealing with issues like this, I hope henceforth or going forward, you will find a way to sit yourselves down and have a discussion. It's a discussion. There's nothing hard in it, you know. And for those women who have not been handling the situation well, I hope you know what to do now. And for those who are yet to get into that stage, I hope the discussion tonight would prepare you to make better decisions, or to make a wise decision, since now you know what is involved and you know what is real, rather than what the society has conditioned us to believe. And ultimately, like I always say, what is important is knowing yourself. So if you are the type that you know that you will forget social construct or anything like that, that me as a woman, I can't marry a man that I'm older than. For some reason, I don't think I would respect him. I don't think blah, blah, blah. That this is just who I am. Then so be it. Make that decision based on your understanding of yourself. There are some women that are only attracted to older men. There are some men that are only attracted to older women. Pattern your life according to who you are, not the dictate of some other people. Èèyàn máa ń lajúlẹ̀ wọnú relationship ni. Love is not blind o. Because ọjọ́ tí relationship máa ṣe miracle fún ẹ tó máa ríran. Ẹ̀rù á bà ẹ́. So these are conscious decisions that we must make. Study the person you're going into relationship with. If you can't match their taste, má tanra ẹ̀. If you are not ready for certain level, má jẹ́ kí anybody push ẹ síbẹ̀. The most important thing in relationship is communication, respect for each other, and understanding. Thank you, my people, for staying with me till the end and for allowing me to finish the story. Special thanks to Yeti's Kitchen for sponsoring this show.
Ilé oúnjẹ àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Manchester. Chilled out Afro and English fusion bar with great food, music and movies. Kò sí irú oúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ tẹ́ ò bá lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Serving the best fusion of African and English delicacies bíi jollof rice, ẹ̀wà àgànyìn, ẹ̀fọ́ rírò, jerk chicken, suya, ayamashi, goat pepper soup, bọ́gà lóríṣiríṣi àti àwọn ọtí ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ sí ni, eating, takeaway or delivery gbogbo ẹ̀ ló bá wọn lára mu. Oríṣiríṣi ètò ìgbádùn ni wọ́n ti ń ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wọn bíi movie night, live jazz music, game night àti Lego play area for children to relax while you eat. Their opening times are Monday to Sunday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Address one, 299 Liverpool Road, Eccles, Manchester, M300QN. Telephone 0161 706 0062 tàbí 074 603 53448. Ẹ tún lè kàn sí wọn lórí email wọn ní food@yetiskitchen.com. For more information, visit their website www.yetiskitchen.com. Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in Manchester.
Yes, so thank you, my people. I would have loved us to have some contribution, but trust me, ọjọ́ ti lọ. And that story, I just had to finish it. Tí n bá parí ẹ̀ mo máa ń yàn tó máa yá mi jẹ. Thank you. Ẹ̀bùn, you joined very late. I hope you ó sì dé bá nǹkan kan ṣá. Apostle, thank you for coming on the show and for your contribution. Mr. Banks, I couldn't hear you when you joined. Thank you for staying through to the end of the show. My sister BC, I hope you can now go and relax. Thank you for giving me 2 hours of your time. Mommy, my senior colleague, thank you for joining the show as well. Ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ ṣeun o. Thank you for staying till the end. Yeah, Ebu, you need to watch it again. It will be there on my platform. Watch it again from the start. Papa. All right. My sister Sarah Yusuf. It's been a while. Good to see you again. Good to see you again on the show. Good to see you again on the show. Kí ló dé àárín yín fún bí ọjọ́ mélòó kan. Magic Finger, I cite you. My brother Franklin Braithwaite. Ọmọ tó dùn. I cite you. My brother Sheyi Crown. Thank you for joining also tonight and for your contribution. Special shout out to my sister Daya Lori. Jesus baby. Thank you, Justice Olayo. My sister Denike Joda Yonobo. Thank you for connecting. Right. Until we meet again next week. Ní dàwátì o. Ìbàjẹ́ ayé ò ní kàn yín, ojú yín ò ní rí bí o. Ayọ̀ àti àlàáfíà látún fi pàdé. Ó dàárọ̀. Thank you very much.
obeying the reformers, 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 the reformers,